What if I told you that before Santa's sleigh bells, it was ghosts, not gifts, that haunted Christmas Eve? That in Victorian England, families didn't just hang stockings, they summoned spirits. Imagine a parlor in 1843 London fog, curling outside the frosted windows, the coal fire glowing low, the streets hum with carolers, yet inside, the family draws closer to the hearth. The father lowers the gas lamp. The children lean in, and with a mischievous smile, he whispers, and then, the door creaked open, though no one was there. In the 19th century, Christmas Eve was the night for ghost stories, not just Dickens' A Christmas Carol, but hundreds of tales of haunted mansions, phantom lovers, and spirits seeking redemption in the snow. It sounds strange today, but for Victorians, ghosts fit Christmas perfectly. Long before Dickens, the pagan midwinter festivals like Yule marked the death of the year. The ancient belief said that in the dark of winter, when the sun's power was weakest, the veil between the living and the dead grew thin. Fires were lit not just for warmth, but to keep wandering souls at bay. When Christianity blended with these customs, December became a season of light in darkness, and what better time to talk of death, loss, and redemption? Victorians, ever fascinated by the supernatural, simply revived an ancient instinct to face the dark by telling stories around the fire. Enter Charles Dickens, 1843. At this time, Christmas was fading, factories didn't pause for holidays, and England's poor had little to celebrate. But Dickens, mourning his own childhood hardships, wrote A Christmas Carol, not as a children's story, but as a ghost story with a moral. He used three spirits to show Scrooge and the world that compassion could still thaw the frost of greed. It wasn't horror for horror's sake. It was haunting as healing. The book sold out in days, inspiring plays, readings, and a full-blown revival of Christmas cheer, all thanks to ghosts. But Dickens was just the beginning. The mid-1800s saw a spiritualist explosion. Across England and America, parlors became séance rooms, tables rapped, candles flickered, mediums like Daniel Dungla's home, and the Fox sisters claimed to summon the dead. Even Queen Victoria herself held séances at Windsor Castle, trying to reach her beloved, Albert, after his death in 1861. In mourning black, she joined a nation obsessed with what lay beyond the veil. The Victorians didn't see ghosts as monsters. They saw them as messengers, reflections of love, loss, and unfinished stories. And Christmas, with its flickering lights and emotional pull, became the perfect time to listen for them. Every December, magazines like Household Words, The Strand, and all the year-round printed chilling holiday tales. Authors like Mr. James, Elizabeth Gaskell, and Wilkie Collins wrote eerie fireside fictions where rectors met phantoms in snow-covered rectories and haunted bells rang out in ruined abbeys. One reader, in 1865, wrote that to pass Christmas without a ghost story would be like December without frost. Even the illustrations of the era, candlelight, mist, shadows, became the visual language of Victorian Christmas. Every flicker of the hearth hinted at something unseen. So what happened? By the early 20th century, electricity replaced the candle's flicker. Cinema brought new kinds of wonder. And Christmas, shaped by Coca-Cola Red and American cheer, became more about jolly Santas than solemn spirits. But echoes remained. Films like It's a Wonderful Life still borrow the Victorian idea of redemption through visitation. Even The Grinch mirrors Scrooge's haunting and transformation. The ghosts may have vanished from our parlors, but they never left our stories. Perhaps that's why Dickens' tale endures, because it isn't really about ghosts, but about what haunts us: regret, loneliness, the wish to be forgiven. Victorians understood something we've forgotten, that to truly celebrate light, you must face the dark beside it. To tell ghost stories wasn't to invite fear, it was to remember the past, honor the dead, and remind the living to be kind before it's too late. So tonight, when the tree lights dim and the fire crackles low, ask yourself, if the spirits of Christmas came to visit me, what would they show? Would you read ghost stories on Christmas Eve? Or would you rather not open that door?